So, on today's episode, we are going to talk about why Kenya has become a country of abductions. I mean, it's quite alarming. There's been a lot of victims who have been abducted. Before you start the video, first of all, I'd like to say that the victims should be released and whatever they did, whether illegal or not, the due process should be followed. And illegal abductions is just something that is ruining our country. So, if you're new here, welcome to the Uncut with X. Here we talk about politics, mostly Kenyan politics, sometimes geopolitics. We give our honest, uncensored, raw, unapologetic opinions on these topics. Sometimes I invite someone to do it with me, but these days I've been doing this solo. So yeah, welcome. Kindly share, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, share it to a friend who likes such things. So we are going to start by watching a video, um, just a video of the deputy president talking about these abductions. And yeah, so here's the video. I think I found it.
There is a unit of police officers that are not under the command of the Inspector General of Police that are carrying out these abductions and killings. There is a building in Nairobi, the 21st floor, in the city center, where this unit is operating from. Led by a certain Mr. Abel, will be giving a second name in the next 1 week or so. Is a unit of officers drawn from across security agencies that are not under the command of the Inspector General of Police. Abel is a cousin to a very senior government official in this administration. And if this unit is not dismantled, we'll be giving the name of the building and the full names of that officer and his cousin in this administration. And these people are not answerable to the Inspector General of Police. Your guess is as good as mine as to who is the commander of that unit. Let me emphasize.
Yeah, so apparently what he's saying, because the video is quite lengthy and he's beating around the bush, and on this show we like talking about things, going straight to the point. So it's quite a lengthy video, about a minute or so, and the deputy president is talking about abductions that are happening in the country. So he did this entire press release and he talked about few issues that I'd like for us to discuss. But before we go to those issues, I'd also like us to watch this other next video of the president responding now to what people say about what people think about the government and its involvement to the abductions that are happening in the country. So let's take a look at this next video.
Na yale yamesemekana mambo ya abduction tutakomesha. Ndio nataka niulize wazazi, kila mzazi tafadhali, hawa watoto ni baraka kwetu, tumepatiwa na Mwenyezi Mungu. Kila mzazi achunge watoto wake, tuweke kushughulikia watoto wetu. Sisi kama serikali tutafanya sehemu yetu, na yale yamesemekana mambo ya abduction tutakomesha, ndio vijana wa Kenya waweze kuishi kwa amani na vile vile wawe na nidhamu na wawe wangwana, tuweze kujenga Kenya tukiwa pamoja. Tumekubaliana?
Yeah, so this there is the president now giving his response, saying that parents should take care of their kids. And on the other hand, he's saying another contradicting thing where he says that the government is not involved in these abductions. I mean, we all know that these abductions cannot be done without the government being involved. And one thing that the deputy president mentioned that adds more weight And this thing also, Mother Karua had mentioned it on Ikonini, the podcast, on one episode where Mother Karua is featured on Ikonini. She says that it's a group of police officers from different parts of East Africa gathered together to conduct these illegal activities. So some of them come from Kenya, some of them from Uganda, and they're used to do these abductions. And it's not the first time we have seen these abductions. Even during the June 25th protest, we had abductions of people who are sort of influential or vocal on the protest. So this entire thing started when people started posting AI generated videos of, rather, AI generated photos of the president. And they were crazy. Some of them were him looking as if he's on a casket, others were on the extremes of him looking as if he's nude. Some of the AI generated photos had him with P Diddy, who is facing sexual assault charges in the United States. So, for me, what I think about these abductions is, yes, there's a part where the law enforcement agencies might argue that it's illegal. And this is what the politicians are using to try and justify these abductions. They're saying that it's illegal for people to post dead photos of the president. Do I agree with that? Yes, I agree that it's illegal for the for anyone to post a dead photo of anyone. I mean, it's kind of is illegal. But if you are a bloody president of a country, you should be prepared for criticism. I mean, I'll just say it as it is. If you're a president of a country, you should then be prepared for such criticism to certain extents. I mean, we are living in the social media era where people can just create a video of Donald Trump doing nasty things, and no one will get abducted or even sued. So we are living in a generation where things are different. Yes, to one way or the other, it's kind of illegal to post a photo of a president dying. Some may even say it's treasonous, but if you're a bloody president of a country, why would you be scared? Why would you even be bothered by someone who's just, because most of these people who are getting abducted are just young people. I mean, why would you be so offended by such a little thing? It's just out of this world. And it only shows one thing, that the president has a thin skin. Because if what the deputy president is saying is right, that these people are not answerable to the inspector general or the DCI head as we think, or the NIS guy as we think, but these people are allegedly answerable to the president, then it shows that we have a president who has a thin skin. Because if you ask me, if I was the president of any bloody country, uh, mention the most shittiest country ever. If I was the president of that shittiest country ever, like Uganda, let's say, I wouldn't care what someone thinks of me. I mean, I wouldn't care if someone posts a photo of me that's AI generated. It only shows that this leader has a thin skin. Yeah, so personally, I think that was so petty. That was being thin skinned for the president to just order abductions of young people because they made a silhouette or they created an AI generated of a photo of him in a casket. I mean, you're the bloody president of Kenya. You're the most protected man in the country. Why would you be bothered by such a thing? That is so petty. Because I personally wouldn't express myself in that manner of posting a photo of the president in a casket. Not that I'm scared, not that I feel like it's wrong to do that, What I think is people have different ways of expressing themselves. So for me, it will be doing these videos and giving out my honest opinion and trying to express my anger and bitterness by giving out my opinions. For other people, uh, like artists, they'll do a skit. For comedians, other people will do silhouettes like what Kibet Bull was doing. Other people will do AI generated images of you in a casket. What that should tell you is these people are so sick of you to the point that they will want you to be in that position in real life. It only shows that they are so bothered with what you're doing in terms of policies that they don't really care. And it's not that they don't know what might happen to them, because we are Kenyans. We know we live in a banana republic where you can get abducted and get lost. The thing is, the people have lost the fear that they used to have. People no longer fear. It's not that we don't know Ruto's history. We do know it. But people are doing it because they want to show their frustrations towards a regime that's failing them every single time. And it's not the first time these abductions have happened. I mean, we recently had the abduction of Besigye, the Ugandan politician, who had come to Kenya for Mother Karua's book launch. And then he was kidnapped in Kenya. So this is what happened. The Ugandan law enforcement agencies were given jurisdiction to come to Kenya, a different country, and arrest a Ugandan citizen. So normally, if your country wants to arrest someone in another jurisdiction, they have to go through their country's law enforcement agencies for them to be able to arrest you. They can't just come to your country like the Ugandans did. So the Ugandans came to Kenya and took CJ Besigye. They literally abducted him and took him back to Uganda. So this is what our country has become. We also had other four Turkish asylum seekers. I mean, asylum seekers who had come to Kenya for refuge because of political reasons, and they were taken away from Kenya. They were sent back to their country. That is so against the international laws, because everyone has a right to seek an asylum in a country, and the country that has taken them should protect them from the country they are running away from. So these four Turkish foreigners were abducted by our very own Subaru boys, and they were taken back to their country. That is so sad. And I don't know what went through the mind of those four Turkish asylum seekers. I don't want to victim blame, but if you're looking for a country to seek asylum, do not come to Kenya. You'll just They'll just abduct you. Don't come here looking for asylum, because you see the government that we have here only cares about money. And if your government can give them the money, they'll sell you out. These people have no honor. They don't care about international laws. They don't care about destroying the image of the country. And that's what they're doing right now. So how do they expect tourists to come to a country when indeed when indeed they're abducting their very own citizens for just critiquing them? And this is the language of dictators, this is the language of dictators. And the reason why our government is abducting young men and women, it's because power can only be maintained by two things. One is respect, the other one is fear. And the president knows very well that no one respects him. And the only thing that he has left to try and maintain power is through fear. So he's trying to rule this government through fear. And you can see the way they do it. They make sure that they abduct someone. The next thing, legacy media reports their family somewhere crying for help. And that whole thing creates fear amongst people, because no parent wants to be in the shoes of Kibet Bull's mother. No parents wants to be in those shoes that their child are abducted. And going back to the video of Ruto saying that parents should take care of their child, because that's the narrative they want to push, that it's up to you parents to tell your child not to express themselves freely. Instead, they should be in fear of the almighty president. That's not going to happen. Already the respect is gone. He knows that he cannot rule with respect from the people. That can never happen. So the only tool he's left with is ruling with fear. And with this generation of people not fearing, I don't think that will happen. I don't think that he will successfully rule people with fear, because that's what they're trying to do when they come and abduct you, when they come and abduct me, because they want to send fear to the next person, for them not to redo what, for them not to freely express themselves. I mean, for you to know that they don't really care about whether how you're expressing yourself is, if you post the most illegal thing on the internet, no one will come for you. But the moment you try and threaten their bloody power is when they're coming for you. It only shows you one thing, and that is why they're having this abduction squad. It only shows you one thing, that Ruto has understood that he can't rule with respect, and he has resorted to rule with fear. The Moi style, the Museveni style, to rule with fear and let the people fear him. But no, that's not going to happen to Kenya. I mean, the amount of freedom of expression that has been built for us to get to the point that we are in currently, we can never be a Uganda. Kenya cannot be like Uganda, where freedom of speech doesn't exist or freedom of expression doesn't exist. This is bloody Kenya. This is not the banana republic of Uganda. And that's where the president is trying to take us. He's trying to take us to the Ugandan route, the Rwanda route. And we are not going to go to that route, because he will fail terribly to rule us with fear. And he's going to be unsuccessful. To close this entire thing, or this episode, what I think should happen is, the people who had posted those videos or images should be released, or they should be taken to court, just as the legal system requires them to be. If they have done anything wrong, they have a right of they have a right to be taken to court and be represented. They have a right of innocent until proven guilty. So I don't think the government should abduct anyone. Not that they're going to listen to our pleas. And that's why people are planning to do protest all over again, because that seems to be the only language that they really understand. But my plea is that one way or the other, these people are set free, and they go scot-free, because for me that's really petty, and the president should, grow some skin.